Wow. It still gets me every time. Hey, welcome to the show. This is the Super Bowl preview show with the heading back to the window crew, and that's us. It's Scott and Scott. I am Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
I'm your co-host, Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we do this show each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I do our best to help you to head back to the window. And today, Scott, it's the game everybody has been waiting for. It's the game that no one expected. I would think if you would have booked the Bengals-Rams matchup in the Super Bowl, you might have made a pretty good penny. Even after the playoff teams were announced, when you could have actually made that play quite easily. I don't know. You see what it paid, Scott, with this matchup paid?
That I did not. I know the Rams were obviously one of the favorites to win the NFC. The real shocker was Cincinnati.
Right.
So anything involving Cincinnati was probably a huge payday.
Although I do feel like a lot of people thought that Green Bay was going to have the easiest run with everything having to go through Green Bay and the horrible weather there. And lo and behold, they had horrible weather against the Niners. And, the people from the sunny Bay Area prevailed in that one, courtesy of a blocked punt and some pretty good defense. Obviously, he didn't let Rodgers score a touchdown after the first drive. So we'll get to all that with the Rams and everything. You and I talked about it going in, Scott, that we thought the NFC West was probably going to be the best division in football. And based on results and based on the eye test, I'd say we were right, because you had obviously 3 teams from the NFC West make the playoffs. Anything to make you change your mind, Scott?
AFC
really. West close?
Not really. I thought the NFC West was the best division. You?
Yeah, I mean, you can compare the Chiefs with the best team in the West, whoever you might think that is, and you can compare the Chargers with the second best team in the West, whoever you might think that is. But it kind of falls apart after that, Scott, as you have Denver and the Raiders, and I think whatever.
Well, the Raiders, you can't say fell apart because they made the playoffs. But
no, I know, but I mean, I think whatever 2 teams you have left there in the West, in the NFC West, are going to be better than the Raiders.
It's very tough to disprove an argument that the NFC West was the best division,
right?
When the 2 teams competing for a Super Bowl spot in the NFC title game are from the NFC West. I really can't argue or change my opinion. The NFC West, I think, is just the best division, and I don't think it's very close.
Yep, fair enough. So it's going to be a fun game. And I know you and I, by the way, if you haven't checked out our prop show, we did a prop special on Wednesday, and that's still up on all the regular places. YouTube, you can check it out there. You can download it in podcast form. It's available on all your favorite podcast networks. And of course, we're going to be doing a big Super Bowl extravaganza pregame show at noon Eastern on Sunday, where we'll have numerous guests, and we're going to have like 5-6 of us in the studio, or the various studios. Of course, we won't all be together because, hashtag 2022, but that'll be fun. So make sure you check that out as well. That's going to go a couple hours. We'll take all of your questions and things like that. And we do thank you guys, everybody that's tuned in now. If anybody has any questions or comments about the game, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We'll be happy to address them. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty quick show, because I got a hunch based on our conversations, Scott. We haven't made these official, but I have a hunch you and I are going to be leaning in the same direction. So I'll lay out the basics here. It's going to be obviously the Niners. It's going to be the Bengals and the Rams. The Rams are currently a 4-point favorite. It did sneak up to 4.5 for about a half a second before getting hammered back down to 4.
Do you think it closes 4?
I mean, what's that?
Do you think it closes 4?
No. I think some late Cincinnati money comes in and drives it down to 3.5.
Yeah, I agree.
Total's 48.5. That's remained pretty static. Does that surprise you? There's been very little movement on either one of these numbers.
I would say no, because I think you have an argument on both sides if it's going to go over or under, obviously. Because for Cincinnati, we know the weapons are there. We know Burrow can sling it. We know Jamar Chase is ridiculously talented. We know Higgins is very good. We know they can score quickly. However, the obvious issue that you run into with an over, which is why both of us loved the Tennessee and Cincinnati under when that game took place, was Cincinnati's offensive line. And we thought that Burrow would be running for his life pretty much the entire game. He did. Tennessee tied the all-time playoff record for sacks. and yet Cincinnati won the game anyway. So it's very tough to fully like an over if you're not sure how long the quarterback is going to have in the pocket to find receivers. And I feel like that's the main question you have, because the Rams, people are assuming, should score mid-20s, maybe even 30, because Cincinnati's secondary is not great. They have Hendrickson on the defensive line. The defensive line's pretty good overall, but the secondary has some question marks, and the Rams have great weapons. So people think the Rams offense is probably going to play well. The issue is, can Cincinnati generate enough time for Burrow to pick apart this Rams secondary with that offensive line against Aaron Donald and company? So that's the main argument, and I feel like that's why the line is really not moved that much from a total perspective. You?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it is. It is kind of it kind of is a number that's right in the middle, so to speak, of how you think that game is going to go. And that's why I agree that the number hasn't seen a lot of movement, because if you like the under 48.5, that's a good play. And if you like the over, you know what? Not that hard to get to 49. So
I think it might be correlated, though. Of course, the Rams could score 30 anyway, and I'm not saying the Rams are going to lose automatically if the game goes over. But I do think if the Rams are going to win and cover, I would probably parlay with the under, because I think you're expecting the defensive line to dominate up front.
Okay. This is for all the talk of all the weapons that Cincinnati has. They've averaged just 24 points per game in the playoffs. So it hasn't been a high-powered offense. They put up 27 against the Chiefs, and of course that took overtime to get to. And
it's a lot of yards, just a lot of field goals in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean it's a team that struggles to run the football, though. They had a little bit of success. They got to 100 against KC, but a lot of that came in that last drive of regulation, as Mixon accounted for probably 35, 40 of those yards.
Regulation or overtime?
Overtime. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. The overtime period where Nixon ran it down all the way. So I think you look at regulation, obviously they're way below 100 there as well. So do you think Mixon's going to be able to run the ball?
No.
Okay.
I think that they're going to try. Do I think it's going to work out? No. I saw the Niners try to run it with a much better ground game and a much better offensive line the last game. And Mitchell did nothing. Samuel did nothing. And we know Aaron Donald can single-handedly wreck an entire game plan, because you have to account basically two guys in him at all costs, but that allows other guys like Leonard Floyd, etc., to make plays. So do I think Cincinnati's going to run the ball against this defensive front? They're going to try. I think Mixon's going to end up with somewhere between 15 and 20 carries, but am I expecting him to average even 3.5 yards per carry? I don't. Do you?
Well, no, and I think he tops out with less carries. I don't think there's any way that he gets to 20. I think he's going to be 15, 16 tops.
I think if they're winning, then maybe game flow late, I see 15 mostly.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if they're up, they could use Mixon to run the ball down their throat and pick up some quote unquote garbage carries. But I'll tell you a play that I like, Scott, as a prop, and we didn't talk about it on the show. I found it last night. I like number of ball carriers, number of players to get a carry on Cincinnati over 3.5. This is a team that's done that every game in the playoffs. They've had at least 5 players carry the football, and I believe they've done it 7 of their last 8. So they like to get Chase involved. Of course, they've got P. Ryan there. So this is a team.
Also Burrow.
You obviously count Burrow and Mixon as 2. So then you've just got to get to 2 more. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm putting out there with P. Ryan and Mixon, P. Ryan and Chase. So I like that play as well. You're laying a little juice. I believe it was like 135, but I'm okay with that.
Not bad.
And I did also do some research yesterday as far as the national anthem, and it's going to be a country. Mickey, can't think of her name, but it's not Mickey Spillane, but she's doing the national anthem, and she's done it a few times in her life. She picked up the nickname Quickie Mickey, Scott, for the brevity of the national anthem. Usually clocks in somewhere around 129, 130. The number was set at 135, which is the highest it's been in like 17 years.
Under.
And it went up to 140, and I like the under quite a bit. So there you go.
Okay.
I know a lot of people like betting the national anthem. It's kind of next level. It's not quite as degen as the coin toss, but it's close.
It's also extremely subjective because some books start the counter at some point and some start the timer at another point, and then you get into a full argument on if it was actually over or under.
Well, you had the Aretha Franklin a double brave a couple years back, and I can tell you, my sports book ended up paying everybody because it technically ended, but then she did another brave and it went over. I was throwing shit around the house when that happened. I'm like, it's a lock because I'm timing it the whole time. I'm like, I'm in. And then she hits the double brave, and I'm like, motherfucker.
I was looking at the under for this year anyway. Of course,
Yep.
the issue is how long they hold the final note on the flyover, but
Right.
I do think the under is going to be the play. People will blindly bet the over because you're expecting theatrics where they stretch it out a little bit, but you did the research. You know how long hers usually take.
Yep.
You can probably add maybe 3-4 seconds for a Super Bowl.
Yep.
But it sounds like you're starting off with about 11 points of wiggle room.
Yeah.
11 seconds of wiggle room.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right. I've already spent more time than I wanted to on that, but I just wanted to put it out there. Leroy Flood's out here. What do you think about Matthew Stafford rushing yards, over or under? What's the number? I don't have.
Let me pull that up real quickly.
Props in front of me. I'd guess like low 3.5, something like that.
Oh no, it'll be higher than that. I'm assuming it'll probably be close to 6.5 if I had to guess. But
okay. I was going to say 3.5, 4.5.
Well, I know because he had the one long scramble against San Francisco last game, so that might be a little bit inflated. That's the thing about the quarterbacks, though, is do you think they can actually have one carry or one play where they improvise and end up scrambling a little bit and pick up 8 yards? Because you're expecting some kneel downs, you're expecting some, plays that might result in maybe either a positive 1 yard gain or a negative 1 yard gain. I said 6.5, Stafford's at 5.5. So I was close.
He had 5 carries for 8 yards last time, and so
of course that includes 3 kneel downs and whatever. But he had the one scramble for about 11,
14.
Yeah, 14. So
he's shown a propensity to run the ball a little bit. I mean, he's never going to be confused with Mahomes or any of the actual running quarterbacks, Kyler or Lamar or whatever. But he'll take off, and that's kind of a new facet of his game, wouldn't you say, Scott?
I would say that's definitely not a strong point, but he's more mobile than Tom Brady at this point.
Yeah,
like he can move a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. So I like the over there.
See Bill asking the important questions about the Gatorade. I think we talked about it briefly on the prop show.
Yep.
I'll take blue and orange.
I'm a red guy.
I know orange is like plus 130, but I think blue is 6-1.
Yeah.
It's a good deal for a popular flavor.
It is. Summer Sweat says under in the anthem, lock it up. Agreed, buddy. As much as I hate to say it, my DGen is showing, but yes, I agree. Brown's backer in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you back. What's going on, man?
Brown's backer, are you rooting for the Bengals, who are division rivals, solely because Odell plays for the Rams?
Okay, before his answer pops up, I'm going to say he is not. I'm going to say he hates the Bengals with every fiber of his being.
I think he's actually rooting against Odell. We're going to disagree on this one.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. One guy or an entire team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they haven't, have bets on what's going to be on the coin. I think
here represents the Canton Hall of Fame, and here represents the face of Commissioner Goodell. Like, I don't know. They'll throw in random faces.
On this side, we have a Skyline Chili, and that's going to be tails. On the other side, we have OJ. That's going to be heads. So, it's and we talked a little bit about the refereeing crew on our prop show. It's going to be Ron Thornton. Can't root for Cincinnati. There it is, buddy. Told you. Runs deep. Will Sean McVay save any timeouts for the fourth quarter?
It depends how many challenges he wants to burn.
Oh God. And Andy was close to having the double burn in the game against Cincinnati, where they took the timeout to think about it and then challenged. So if he'd have lost it, he'd have lost 2 timeouts. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, first half timeouts, who gives a fuck? Well, would have come in handy there at the end of the first half, eh? Do you think there'll be any score in the first 6.5 minutes? One of my personal favorites.
No.
I'm going to go with no. Yeah, I think both of these teams start fairly slowly. Do they let you bet what it's called in the air? No, they do not. Can't get a read off the coin tip, off the coin toss. No, I'd like to. I have in the past looked up the first 6.5 minute score prop, but it's generally speaking the teams come out and feel each other out unless there's some dramatic event, the snap over Peyton's head or whatever, untimely interception.
Especially for the lack of experience with the players, because a lot of them haven't been to a Super Bowl before with these teams, or even the coaches. I mean, McVay's team no-showed the first one against the Patriots, and Taylor and the Bengals have not been to a Super Bowl in 30 years. So I think you will see a lot of nerves to start. So I do think you'll see a pretty low-scoring first quarter. There might not even be any points in the first quarter, but I expect to see a pretty low-scoring first half before things pick up in the second half.
I mean, Joe Cool come out and throw an 80-yard bomb in the first play.
He might
stick it in their eye. How many sacks will the Rams D have? 5.
4. I'm gonna go 4.
All right, numbers 4.
I like the over in the full game. I think it was at 5.5 for both teams combined. That seems a bit low.
So both teams rushing plus 150.
I can't take it. I don't think Mixon's going to do anything.
No. And
it really all comes down to the play calling in the red zone. I think the Rams will get one because the Rams do like to run. Stafford has a QB sneak every now and then, but they got Akers. They got some guys. Cincinnati might try 1 or 2, but against that defensive front, you really don't want to try to constantly run the ball. It's the same logic against Tampa Bay. You're just going to run it right into Vita Vea or run into Aaron Donald. A lot of teams would rather do something else.
Longest field goal over 33?
Do you mean shortest field goal? Longest was definitely like 47.5.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, if you've got an over 33,
all in, sell the house.
Start selling shit. Yep, absolutely. I like the 47.5. I like the over there. By the way, what about you?
I like Cincinnati to have the longest field goal.
Absolutely, yeah, that was one of my favorite prop plays as well. And I don't know what Matt Gay's situation is. You said it was a hammy, right? That he tweaked in warmups.
I believe he was short from 40. Was he 48 against Tampa?
47. Yeah, but that was after injuring himself in pregame.
That's the point. But I'm saying is since he's been battling a bunch of random ailments, I don't exactly trust him to hit from distance. I don't know how much the Rams are even going to trust him.
That's the thing.
From distance.
I don't think the Rams line him up over 50.
Yeah.
But I do like what's his fuck?
McPherson?
The kid, yeah, McPherson. I like him. I like him over 50.
Well, I feel like we've been talking about some props though, but I think it might be time to talk about the actual game.
You're probably right. Summer Sweat says the cocky Bengals kicker is annoying as well. Agreed.
You can be cocky when you're money in the bank every time.
It ain't backing, motherfucker. If you back, it ain't bragging, motherfucker. If you back it up, right?
I mean, that was the issue with Badgley, the kicker for the Chargers. It's because he called himself Money Badgley, and he missed every kick with the Chargers. So people thought he was just an idiot. But if you're McPherson and you're draining 4 field goals in every playoff game, you can be as cocky as you want.
Yeah, fair enough. How many total TDs? 5.
I had 27-20. I was leaning around 27-24 for a game score. So 3. I'm looking at about 6.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So I threw down in Barcelona Espanyol fewer goals than Super Bowl field goals.
Well, you're lucky that Messi doesn't play for Barcelona anymore. So I think you'll see a 1-0, 2-0 game.
I do like the cross sport props. That's a lot of fun as well. So all right, Scott. So 4 points. Bengals, Rams. Make your case.
Well, I said 27-24. So I'm going with the Bengals because even though I acknowledge the Rams are better in the trenches, and from an overall talent perspective, I think the Rams are the better team. But Cincinnati has been an underdog pretty much the entire season. They've thrived on the roll. They keep being disrespected, and they keep finding ways to win. And I do think that if you are concerned, which I am, of Stafford's ball security, and if he's going to throw a dumb pick or two, I do think the Bengals hang around. I'm also concerned about the Rams' kicking game. And I know that McPherson is money anywhere from inside basically the 40-yard line. So I do think that Cincinnati is going to keep this game very close. I think it should be a very good game. And in a game that should be very close, I will take the 4 points.
Agreed. Mike Lou 415 says Rams first half, Bengals second half. I don't hate that. I don't hate that, as it takes the Cincinnati Bengals have shown a propensity to start a little slow. Other than getting the pick against Tannehill, but they started slow against the Chiefs, both regular season and postseason. Couldn't really get much going against the Raiders, so I don't hate that because I also like the Bengals, Scott. I'll take the Bengals plus the 4 points. Although I will tell you this, did a little research on this topic. If you do like the Bengals, probably not a bad idea just to bet the money line at plus 170, because in Super Bowl history, generally speaking, when the underdog covers, they win. So very rarely does it happen that the other team keeps it close but doesn't get the victory. So if you're going to take the Bengals, take the plus money. But for the purposes of this show, you know what? I'll lock up those 4 points. I like the Bengals as well. I think a person that's being incredibly disrespected. You hear everything about the Rams defense. You hear about Donald. You hear about Von Miller. You even hear about Leonard Floyd. Who don't you hear about, Scott?
Trey Hendrickson.
That's correct. You don't hear about Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals, and all he did this season was put up more sacks than any of those guys on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I will grant you they had to split their sacks up, and the Bengals don't have as many talented pass rushers as the Rams do. But this Hendrickson kid must be accounted for. He got, after Patrick Mahomes' last game against the Chiefs, made his life miserable with 3 sacks and a number of pressures there against the young QB for the Chiefs. So
I mentioned on the prop show, Hendrickson MVP is 175 to 1. I think that's worth something.
Love it. Love it, because
he's probably not going to win, but
Nope.
$10 to win $1,700, that's worth it to me.
You know what? You get a tight grinder of a game that's decided late by a scoop and score on a sack. I think maybe he's got another sack or two with his total before that. I think you got to give it to him, man. I think if the winning quarterback throws for 240 or something, Mixon runs for 55 yards, I think it's wide open for MVP. Rams winning at the first half and never lose, says Thomas Bowe. Fair enough.
They lost once, and that was week 18 against the 49ers.
Yep. I know it's going to be close. Why not take the points, like you said?
That was my logic. I just think it's going to be a field goal game, so I'll take the points.
Well, and I'm going to go off a historical.
You're going with the trend.
Yeah, that's the historical trends, and it's going to be if the dog plays well, the dog wins. So, but like I said, for our purposes, I'll take the 4 points. That's totally fine. Do we fade Mattress Mac? Says Damien. See, and we talked about that on the regular show here a little while ago when Joan brought it up that Mattress Mac had $5 million on the Bengals, and that pissed me off because I liked the Bengals. I didn't want to say anything about it on the regular show, but yeah, I'm not thrilled that Mattress Mac is on the same side as I am.
They don't have to win; they just have to cover. Did he take the spread or did he take the money line?
I'm guessing he took the spread.
I don't know.
Donald wants it bad. He was on his teammates on the last game to win.
See, I don't know if I buy the want to win narrative. You've been practicing for 9 months. You're in the Super Bowl. I think everybody wants to win.
Curdy Flaherty says the Rams get 15 sacks and Burrow still throws for 380.
Could be. I mean, the Bengals found a way to beat Tennessee anyway. I feel like the point is that even though the Rams could easily win this game by double digits, it wouldn't surprise me. The Rams are the more talented team. But Cincinnati has just found ways to hang in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when things get rough, when you're down 20 points at Arrowhead or down 18, they didn't quit. They didn't throw in the towel. They showed resiliency. And I do think that Cincinnati is a very dangerous team to give points to. So I will take the points.
Thomas Bowe says Rams 44, Bengals 24. So
it's a lot of points.
When you talked about the correlated, I saw it the other way. I saw a correlated parlay with the Rams in the over. If you like the over, you should back the Rams because I think that was going to indicate that it's an offensive game, and the Rams are just flat out outscoring them. So
my argument is that I think if the Rams are going to cover and win the game handily, you're expecting the Bengals offense to kind of get caught with the pass rush.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
And we've seen that hasn't made a huge difference, even though they've put pressure on him. It hasn't made a hell of a difference as far as the outcome of the game goes. So,
I'm going to ask you, which quarterback do you trust more? Would you rather have Burrow or would you rather have Stafford?
Oh God.
Let's ignore the weapons. Let's ignore the offensive lines, all the other variables. Who'd you rather have?
At this point, I'd probably rather have Stafford in the small lean.
Okay.
But
I'd go with Burrow, but I do think it's close.
It's really close. Burrow can get hot. You know, the thing about Burrow, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. So these guys have no fear, and that's a team you have to worry about, Scott, because they don't know any better. You know, they're all young. Fucking Burrow was in the national championship game 2 years ago. This is just a regular thing for him. This is just a big game, so he's used to playing in big games.
Same thing with Chase.
What's that?
Same thing with Chase.
Yeah, same thing with Chase as well. McPherson over 1.5 field goals, best bet. Curdy, I agree with you. That I'm sure you're laying wood there. That's probably what 140, 145. I'm fine with that because we have seen the red zone problems of the Bengals, especially in the first half of games. So I think the Bengals with 2 or 3 field goals is certainly a strong possibility.
By the way, Ninja's saying that Mattress Mac has the money line.
Okay.
So he could lose and I could still win.
Okay. All right.
So I'll take it.
All right. Stafford has the experience. Exactly, Brownsbacker. That's kind of why I had a small lean there. But both of these guys have shown a propensity at times to throw really shitty, ill-advised passes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
Any thoughts on the total?
Yeah, I like the under. I thought you and I were on the same side here. I think it's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of bend but don't break as far as the defenses go. I think they'll give up some yards, but I think there's going to be a number of drives that end in field goals. So I'm somewhere in the neighborhood 24-17, 24-21 Bengals, something like that.
Okay. I was originally going to look at the under earlier in the week, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked the over.
Okay.
Just because they're playing a dome, I do have questions about Cincinnati secondary, and I do think that both receiving cores are so good that you will see a bunch of big plays. So I do think that both quarterbacks are capable of generating big plays with no weather factor at all because they're in a dome, obviously. So I think you'll see points. I do think if you want to bet the over, though, you might want to wait until maybe the start of the second quarter, maybe get an in play. If you can get it down to 45.5, something like that, I do think you will see a better number on the over or for the over during the actual game than pregame. But eventually, I think you'll see enough big plays where this game ends somewhere around 27-24.
Okay, very good. Somebody had something here. We see any 4th and goals going for it early. I'm going to go with no.
I think that Taylor is going to automatically go for it inside of 2 yards.
I don't think so. I think
that's what he's done all year.
I know. Those buttholes get a little tight in the Super Bowl, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
Summer,
not in minus territory on his side of the 50. No way.
That's fair. I was talking about like 4th and goal, like the Rams 2-yard line. I just think they're going to stick with what got them there, and I think that they're going to try to stay aggressive. Summer, I do agree with you. I have a prop on OBJ. I like him over 60.5 receiving yards. I think him to score a touchdown at plus 140 is a solid bet as well. I do think even though Kupp is basically unguardable and he's wide open all the time, Odell has been such a vital piece to this team. And if you're going to give him one-on-one coverage with Eli Apple while you're shadowing Kupp over the top, Odell should have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of big plays.
Mm-hmm. JC Stone wants to know if Mac bets $5 million, what happens to the line? I don't think anything happens to the line.
Nothing moves. See, that's the thing, is that not all money, people don't fully understand this, and not all money that Vegas sees is equal.
Yep.
Because you have some people or some syndicates or some sharp guys with a pretty good track record who can move lines by betting $100,000.
Right.
Because they know that they are very sharp and they usually know what's going on. Then you have Mattress Mac, who does it as a publicity stunt, who won his first bet with the Astros, and he might be 0-17 cents. So do I think that he moves the line? No. I think that he is simply a publicity guy who just does it for the hell of it. But just because he bets $5 million and another sharp bettor bets $100,000, the books will respond more to who's doing the money or who's betting the money as opposed to the actual amount.
Yep.
You agree?
I agree. Absolutely. J.R. Lamali wants to know, what about largest lead under 14.5 points?
I see a nail biter. So.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's gonna be relatively close. So
I think you might get a 10-point lead at one point, but 14.5 does seem a bit much.
Vegas never loses on the Super Bowl, so we have to look at public bets. Yeah.
Do they never lose in the Super Bowl?
They've taken, well.
When you say never lose, do you mean on the side? Because I'm sure they make a boatload of money on props.
Oh, always.
Because people just take long shots the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of money they're going to make on the coin toss alone is going to be absurd. So that's the point. So when you say they never lose on a Super Bowl, you got to also watch out, because I don't know if that includes props. That could include the damn halftime show. That could include the color of the Gatorade that has 45 options.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to separate how often they win or lose as a whole on the Super Bowl or on spread in total.
They're gonna have a flyover because it's a dome, but it's a clear ceiling. You know.
I'd assume yes.
Okay. I don't know. 14.5 for even money. Yeah, if I find it, I'm banging that.
JC, for the coin toss, I know you said you lose all the time. I'm feeling heads this year. My intel tells me heads. So do with that what you will.
What do you think about Tyler Boyd, anytime TD?
He's a great player. I just don't think they target him enough.
Depends on what you're catching. Tell me what the number is. I'm going to guess it's around 300. What do you think?
I was going to say, if it's anything above like 225, it might be worth something, but
yeah.
They really just don't target him enough.
Jets and Bears. Give us credit. What? I don't understand. Here they may have a drive-by. The truckers may actually show up. Take another show and talk about the trucker strike. What do you think about that, Scott?
Oh, we can. What do you think is more important, the trucker strike or the baseball strike?
For me personally?
Just in general.
Well, I think for supply chain issues, the correct answer is the trucker strike. But in reality, the shit that I get up and worry about every day, it's the baseball strike for sure.
Lamelli's mentioning scoreless quarter at plus 300. I think your best bet's the first quarter for scoreless, so I don't mind that.
Yep.
Joan mentioning third down, fourth down conversions. I do like a fourth down conversion in the game. I'm not sure what the odds are. You used to get very nice plus prices for that, but now every coach is more aggressive. So you will see a huge minus price on that. I do think you will see a team convert one. I also am a fan of opening kickoff, no touchback at plus money, because you never really you always seem to get a return on the opening kickoff, and that's because the opening kickoff football is actually heavier than the usual football.
Yep.
Because it immediately goes to the Hall of Fame after the kickoff.
I meant to talk about that on the prop show, and that's something that is, and I forget the number, Scott, but I want to say
it's like 80% in the last
17 of the last 18 have been returned.
Yeah, it's something absurd, but you're looking at a plus price.
It's not the usual K-ball. Yeah. That's the deal.
You're looking at a plus price for a return on the kickoff. The ball is heavier. That sounds like a conspiracy. It's not. It's been proven. It's going to the Hall of Fame as soon as it's done.
Right.
I expect to see a short kickoff.
Yep. Agreed. Especially if it's the Rams. If the Rams kick off, if Gay, and whether he's got a wounded hamstring or not, if he kicks off, yeah, I like it. I like it.
The truth is, when you're looking at like 17 of 18 or 17 of 20, and you're getting plus money, even if it loses, that's just a solid investment. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm. Anthem goes over, from what I hear. We'll see. It's a really short time. Look around, because it's everywhere from 136 to 140.
Find yourself a middle.
Personally, I like the under.
Is that too degenerate, or is that too sharp to find a middle on the
middle of the national anthem?
Middle of the national anthem.
Come on, 138. Let's go.
You have the nice 4-second window where you win both.
Hi, I'm Scott. It's my first meeting. I tried to middle.
Is that a meeting though? Because you automatically win.
Oh, I know. I know how the middle works. It's a good place.
I've done that on the combine.
Yeah,
I've middled the hell out of 40-yard dashes before.
Sure,
I made a decent amount of money.
Curdy Fleury's got inside information. Well, see, now that changes everything.
Are you Mickey Spillane?
Huh?
Is Curdy Mickey Spillane?
It's not Mickey Spillane.
I know. I'm joking. I know.
Uh,
We both don't know. We both forgot the name of the person.
Quickie Mickey. Man, that was like my nickname my wife gave me.
I like where our W's heads at. Jalen Ramsey interception parlayed with Will Smith to lose Best Actor, plus 1,700.
God damn, that's a degen special right there.
I haven't seen enough movies for me to judge, but I think Will Smith's gonna win.
I saw that movie. I haven't seen the other ones. It was good. He was good in that role. I just feel like, yeah. I feel like he'll get shut out though. I like that plus 1,700. That's very good. T-Train says he heard on CNBC that the trucks were headed for LA. I don't think they're going to let them anywhere near the stadium because it's not like they're going to teleport there. You're going to have, they're going to fucking come through, well, right now they're in Windsor, so they're going to come through Michigan and then Minnesota and Wisconsin and Montana. So first of all, you better hurry. You better leave now. And secondly, I don't think California Highway Patrol is going to let them anywhere near the stadium. Not a chance. So sorry, guys. Anything else?
JC's asking if the players are being COVID tested before the game.
Nope.
I think COVID tests are a myth at this point.
COVID tests are only being done on anybody that exhibits symptoms right now in the NFL. So
I was going to say, it's the Super Bowl weekend anyway, so you can probably have 45 symptoms, have a Justin Turner situation. And it just so happens that it'll come out right around when the game's over. Maybe.
Yeah, very true. James Mount says send them to lower LA. Well, you send them to the stadium.
Curdy's claiming he knows the Gatorade color.
I know. Remember a couple years ago when it was going to be purple, when they had the inside information and purple, like it got taken off the board and fucking people pounded purple. And
what was it in the end? It was blue or green or something?
Yeah, whatever it was. So Curdy,
I think blue at 6-1 is worth value, but you apparently have the inside information. So you have yellow.
Yellow.
Okay.
Gotta be a good price on yellow, right?
Honestly, even if it's a false tip, yellow might be worth plus money.
Pound it. Now we're going to see if we can move the line. As soon as
we're going to quote you on that though, Curdy. So next show, we'll see what happens.
We'll give you full credit too. Either way, we're gonna roast you, or we're gonna put you on a pedestal, buddy, because you've put it out there. You said the over in the national anthem and yellow. And if you want to be a real degenerate, parlay them together. No, you can't parlay props. Probably somewhere you can parlay props, but
I'll probably bet on yellow and I'll bet on blue. I feel like orange is probably a safe guess, but it's like plus 130. I got to get it at least 2-1 if I'm guessing a Gatorade color.
I guarantee you that just cost me $50 because I'm gonna definitely I'm definitely taking a sniff on yellow, no question about it.
But it could be the bailout special. You lose everything in the game and you somehow hit the Gatorade color, and next thing you know, you're up $20.
Does Rochelle remember Gatorade only having 2 colors? What? Gatorade only has 2 colors. No, that's not right.
No, they have a bunch of colors. I just remember blue and I remember orange being 2 that I like for this game, especially since they coincide with the colors of the uniforms, which I guess also explains yellow. Is the Rams a yellow or is it more of a gold? I think it's a yellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess that adds up.
I'll
tell you what it's not going to be. It's like plus 175 on clear.
It's never clear.
What's the creativity around clear?
Is that water, I guess, right?
Good for them.
Yeah.
You're going to have a color in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, I only remembered yellow and orange. Red. Isn't there red? Red Gatorade in that thing? I don't know. You gotta have deep knowledge to do this shit. RW pointing out a point that we pointed out in our prop show, but bears repeating. The colors vary wildly by site. Shop around. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Shop around for all your props. In these days, I assume most people watching our show have access to multiple books. So no time is it more important to shop around than Super Bowl prop time because everybody's got different numbers. So
I'm going to take yellow and blue for Gatorade. If I'm going to take a long shot novelty prop, I better get a decent amount of plus money. That's all.
It's still up. Brownsbacker said he missed our prop video. It's still up on the YouTube site, on the channel there. You can get it. So,
all right. You have anything else you want to add?
I don't, man. I'm looking forward to a good game. I hope it's going to be fun. I know. What are you going over to some buddy's house for the Super Bowl?
I'm not sure yet. I might watch it with either friends. I might watch it with my father. I'm not sure, but I can't say I'm fully like excited about the game. I'm looking forward to it. but it's not like my team's in it or anything. I mean, I'm just hoping for a good game.
If Stafford protects the football and McVay's head doesn't melt, both major concerns. Rams take it 31-17. All right, Summer Sweat.
Okay,
So I'll be
fair
halfway
enough.
there. It'll be under, and that could absolutely happen.
Yeah.
The Bengals could wilt in prime time. The Rams, you know what? That's a hungry team too. So I could absolutely see a Rams blowout. I could be 100% wrong on this, but
I've just seen McVay and company let other teams hang around longer than they should.
Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Even
what
the
happens.
Niners. I mean,
Yep.
they were outplaying the Niners the entire game. They just trailed because they couldn't finish a drive.
Yep. Absolutely true. Scott, pull up my dad's house on Long Island. We'll get trashed.
It sounds tempting. I'll tell you that much.
All right, guys. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We had a nice turnout here for the video, and of course, this will be up. If you missed any part of it, you can check it out on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're going to check us out on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be me and Scott and Chris and Jim Williams and guys from our new partners over there at who, Scott?
Picks and parlays.
Picks and parlays will be there.
We got a bunch of guests coming on. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We got some national guys coming on. So yeah, tune in for that, guys. I'll be sharing my favorite Super Bowl cheese dip recipes. So
nice.
All right,
recipe for bean dip.
Oh man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. And then get ready for March Madness. Oh,
I might go to Vegas for March Madness. So we'll
what's
see.
that?
I might go to Vegas for March Madness.
All right, very good. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Good luck on all your plays this weekend. Let's have a good Super Bowl. Let's keep it clean out there, boys. Keep it clean. All right. You guys take care. As always, we'll see you when we see you. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Sunday at noon. But until then, you know what? Let's go cash a bunch of tickets. What do you say? You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Everybody, peace